The waves in Florida suck.
I want to watch this.
Inside the state of Florida, a terrible secret looms. Our waves aren't exactly the best for surfing. Unless there's a hurricane off the coast, waves tend to run in the 1 to 3 class. Inches, that is. And there's another statistic way to try to sweep under the carpet. You know, half of all the shark attacks in the world occur in the United States. And half of those, well, they're right here in Florida. It's also not unusual for the Florida Highway Patrol to respond to the beach. As a side note to allowing cars to drive on the beach, it's that they have a tendency to run over sunbathers. Now, I'm not telling you this to dissuade you from coming here. We have some of the best beaches in the world, sand-wise, and some great shelling if you like that kind of thing. See, what I'm talking about is surfing, or surfing as we called it in the Garden State. Surfing is like the most competitive sports where NASCAR can just wait a day or two if they're called for rain, or NBA, MLB, and soccer can wait out a world pandemic. But if there's no waves, there's no surfing tournament. And surprisingly, Disney was years ahead of Kelly Slater and the World Surf League. Let's take a walk down Disney history lane and introduce you to Dick Nunis, the inventor of tiny shorts. Okay, that wasn't his only claim to fame. Apparently it was some high-up muckety-muck at Disney. I mean, his Twitter bio reads, "I built Walt Disney World, and I also spend too much time surfing." In reality, Dick Nunis was a Southern California boy, born in Cedartown, Georgia. He had received a football scholarship to the University of Southern California, and at the time, his goal was to become a professional football player and then coach. This was cut short, however, when he suffered a broken neck while playing ball. But in 1955, he graduated from USC with a Bachelor of Science in Education. Dick learned about Disneyland through his classmate, Ron Miller, who also happened to be Walt's son-in-law. He applied for a summer job at the new park and was hired then by Van France, founder of the Disney University and author of the park's orientation and training program. Just prior to the park's July 17, 1955 debut, the duo began training Disneyland employees. I mean, Dick literally wrote the standard operating procedures for all of Disneyland's rides, some of which are still in use today. By 1961, he'd become director of park operations and was instrumental in Project X. Oh, Project X? That was Walt Disney World. Well, in 1971, he was named executive vice president for Walt Disney World and Disneyland. And as a good Southern California boy from Georgia, Dick had begun surfing while at USC, and he was hooked. It was this love of surfing that Dick wanted to spread to all of Disney guests. Whether or not he knew that Florida surfers were frustrated by the lack of waves, or he just truly didn't want guests to have to leave Walt Disney World property, Dick came up with a great idea. If Disney Imagineering could build a lake, surely they could make waves on the lake, and what better place for waves on a lake than the Polynesian Resort? Themed after everybody's idea of what the Polynesian Isles should be like, the Poly is still a hit with guests, including yours truly. But as an archetype of those Pacific Isles, it was tiki heavy and wave lacking. There's just something about relaxing amongst the waves generally rolling up on the beach. Unless, of course, you realize some minivan just parked on your blanket. So let's escape this crazy world and go to the reality of Walt Disney World. Dick realized there was only one thing missing for Nepali: surf contests. Yep, he envisioned a world where a surfing tournament wouldn't be called because of lack waves. He saw surfers from all around the world being drawn to Florida to, well, surf. It'd be a great success, just like the Walt Disney World golf tournaments were. You could have surfing classes just like in Hawaii, and if you wanted to teach beginners how to surf, you could just turn down the waves. See, I told you it was a great idea. Well, building a machine needed to begin before the newly created Seven Seas Lagoon could be filled with water, and it cost a bunch. Walt Disney World was already costing the Disney company a large fortune to build, and then here comes Dick Nunis wanting to add another $500,000 to that. Luckily, he had some great backing, including Roy Disney himself. Imagineers got right on it, and at park opening, the wave machine was ready to generate its first waves. Only nobody knew if it would. Spoiler alert, it did. And there were waves on Seven Seas Lagoon. And that's where the problems began. There were waves on Seven Seas Lagoon. Skippers on the sidewheelers taking guests to the Magic Kingdom first reported problems with maintaining stability in an otherwise unstable craft. They weren't made to take on anything other than a gentle breeze across the lake. Next up, Imagineering noticed another problem: erosion. The beautiful sand beach where the waves came ashore was shrinking a little more every day. After about a year, the machine was turned off and quickly faded from memory. It never did hold that surfing tournament, though none other than Dick Nunis himself proved it was possible. And there it sat. From there, Dick went on to design the official management uniform alternative of tiny shorts. Basically, Bermuda shorts for men and women. They never quite achieved the level of popularity that Dick thought they would. And then came 1985. In 1985, some Imagineers began making calculations. The Seven Seas Lagoon had been sitting for the past 15 years. With all the boat traffic from the ferries and the launches and the rentals, there hadn't been any major erosion problems noted. Maybe it would be safe to turn the wave machine back on and pick up where Dick Nunis had left off back in 1972. Tiny shorts aside, Dick had some pretty good ideas, and this could really turn out in Disney World's favor. Imagineers went all over the equipment, making sure it was sound and ready to go. All connections were tightened, fluids topped off. Finally, it was time to test the machine. Nope. Although the machine again produced the desired waves, it also again produced the unwanted beach erosion. And that was it. No more waves on the Seven Seas Lagoon, unless it was a windy day. Although the wave machine was never to operate again and has slowly been dismantled over the years, Dick did finally get his wave machine. On June 1st, 1989, Dick, now president of Disneyland and Walt Disney World, saw his plan come to fruition with the grand opening of Disney's Typhoon Lagoon. Guests could now enjoy a 6-foot wave every 90 seconds in the world's largest outdoor wave pool. Without sharks and parking restricted to the paid parking lot, it became probably the best beach not located on the shore. Now surfers can hop their boards during special surf times before and after regular park hours, getting 100 perfect waves in 3 hours. Well, that was something that Kelly Slater and the World Surf League decided was a great idea, and they opened the World Surf Ranch in the middle of the California desert, 3 hours from Los Angeles, and 100 miles inland. But they did that in 2016. The cancellation of the Palm Beach County version of Slater's pool now leaves Typhoon Lagoon as the premier surf spot in all of Florida. Seems like Dick Nunis really knew what he was talking about. And to further secure Disney's place in surf history, Ron John's Surf Shop opened its doors in Disney Springs recently. It joins other Ron Johns I've visited, like the original in Long Beach, New Jersey, Cocoa Beach, Key West, the old Orlando store at Festival Bay, and of course, the Turks and Caicos. Fun fact, Ron John's built a wave pool at the Festival Bay Mall to offer lessons, but it never opened. Well. So, while you're body surfing over at Typhoon Lagoon, just remember that you have Dick Nunis to thank. And if you're ever in the tropics and you spot the local traffic cop in Bermuda shorts, the answer is no, they won't look good in your office. If you like this video, why don't you go ahead and just give it a big thumbs up. That way, even Dick Nunis will know that you supported his idea of a wave pool and he was just way ahead of his time. I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you to all of you who subscribed over the last couple of years and let your friends know. It's free. Anybody can subscribe. You just press on the little red subscribe button down below. But remember, pushing the red subscribe button doesn't mean anything anymore. You also have to click on that bell icon. That way you'll be notified the next time I upload a video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.